everybody, and welcome back to Learn by Play here on the Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons channel. We are back as Encounter Roleplay with another episode, in fact, the penultimate episode of our Learn by Play series. So I hope you've learned something by now, because if not, well, there's only 2 episodes left. So you best get to learning, or at least playing. But let's go around the cast and crew, let's figure out who we are and who we're playing today. Of course, we have a very special guest joining us today, as Sydney is away at a wedding. Not hers, I hope. We have Tall Squall with us. How you doing, Tall Squall?
Okay, you totally surprised me. He is the special guest. I'm Tall Squall. I'm here every week. It's great to be here. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as we we're down one character down, another one who is sort of caught between the battle of like liches and Yuan-Ti kings. I don't know. It's terrible. We just teleported off without her. She'll be fine. Anyway, I am playing Fulton Stump. He's the cleric. Instead of sticking back and healing, he was like, he is a 8-foot-tall furlbog with sort of light green skin and big antlers, and looks sort of like a shaman, as he wears a lot of his holy symbols all over him as jewelry and such, and has armor made of sort of fire-hardened bark and wood and things, and big long spears to kill things with. So that's me and Fulton.
Excellent. Let's go around to the regulars first, and then we'll do our special guest last. So we've got Louise with us today. Louise, how are you?
I am really great and not at all scared about my inevitable death by lightning. It's how I want to go in both this and real life.
Making the dream come true.
Yeah, it's a Christmas miracle, really, is what it is. I'm Louise, and I'm playing Desira, who is a high elf eldritch knight who came here to guide these people around Joel. And I mean, it's worked. She's guided them here, but now she's going to also die here. So good job, me.
You definitely got them into Choltz. That is
yes, that is my mission, and I did it, and I'm proud.
Excellent. We also have Greg with us tonight. How are you doing, Greg?
I'm doing well. I'm playing Ubo, the Turtle Ranger. Whereas Fulton is 8 feet tall, Ubo is 5 feet tall, and he is ancient. As far as turtles go, he is at the edge of his lifespan, and his shell has taken on the crags and kind of fans of an ancient kind of growth and whatnot. His skin has gone from a vibrant green to a mottled brown. His head is folded to the point where you can't tell which fold holds his eyes, but right now they're very wide because the high elf is inside the portal between a lightning and a hard place and lightning, something like that. And it's bad and it's good and it's great, and we're on Learn by Play, and we're going to have some fun, and I can't wait to do it. Let's do it.
My favorite theory so far as to what happens when the lightning hits is that we find the true meaning of Christmas, which is very possible, guys. I mean, we're on the 9th of December at the moment. I wouldn't hold out for that. Excellent. We also have a very special guest with us today. We have Jim from the WebDM show. How are you doing, Jim?
Doing great. How is everybody else out there? How you doing, Will?
I'm well. Better for seeing you, my friend.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited to join you guys here at the very end. Maybe I'll contribute and help someone survive, or maybe we'll just be the death of everybody. Who knows?
It really is a 50-50 with Jim. You never do know. Excellent. Well, you may know Jim from WebDM. We had Pruitt on a couple of weeks ago as a guest, and I murdered Pruitt. And so I thought, well, I have to even this out a little bit. I don't want there to be any rivalries between Jim and Pruitt, so best kill them both. Jim, who are you going to be playing tonight?
So I am playing Orvex Akramas. I think that's how that's how I'm going to pronounce it.
Yeah,
sure. A doddering but scholarly wizard who has befriended the party and helping them through their trials and tribulations.
Excellent. Yes, previous viewers of the other episodes may remember Orvex, the somewhat bumbling wizard who was previously aligned to the Red Wizards of Fae, but has now joined our party as a full companion. Well, let's remind ourselves of what happened last time. Let's remind ourselves of what on earth the show is. The show is Learn by Play. That means that we take moments away from the actual play to talk about dungeon mastering things. I take on a few topics every single week to try and show that the Tomb of Annihilation is not only to be enjoyed. No, it's not only to be enjoyed, it's to be enjoyed. God damn it, that's why I need that t-shirt, damn it. So today we're going to be talking about, looks furiously at notes, we're going to talk about traps, puzzles, being the master of the tomb, and bringing your story to a conclusion, as we are coming towards, as Jim mentioned, the end of all things. So we're starting about thinking, wrapping up some plot arcs and some storylines here, so we'll see about that. But this reminder tells what happened last time. The players found themselves in a trap, in a tomb, searching for the pieces of the puzzle cubes. They got involved in a furious fight with a bunch of Kamadans, which are these jaguar creatures with 6 snakes sprouting out of their back, that attacked the party as they entered. And along with Zagmira, one of the Red Wizards of Fate, and some of her mages and thugs as well. She kind of formed an untrusting alliance with the party. They got inside the party, kind of betrayed her, as they set her into the fiends and the beasts and then let them get eaten. But hey, in the end, after fighting through some clay creatures, figuring out a puzzle, a trap, getting the puzzle cube, they teleported out with Zagmira and a couple of her mages as well. Almost all of them got out, except for one. There must always be one, and that one was a little known girl from Chult named Desira, and she almost got out. The teleportation circle is still active. However, at the end of the episode, we saw Desira caught between herself and Miles, who is a lich, a child lich that they've previously had a few run-ins in. On the other side, they had Rasni, the Yuan-Ti, and he did not look happy to see them. And at the end of last episode, they both cast chain lightning at one another. Desira is caught in the middle. She's above these bars. If she could jump down in time, she could get to the teleportation circle. But we'll see if she can do that. I mean, that's you know, we're going to have to leave you waiting for that one, because we left you waiting a week. You guys can wait a little while longer. So, first things first, I'm going to head over to do some Tomb Insights for 5 minutes. We're going to chat about what we're going to be chatting about, basically. And then we'll come into the actual play. Players will be on mute, so chat away, plot away your own demises, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes' time. Alright then. So the players are muted, and we, my friends, have come over to our Tomb Insight Cavern. Today we're going to be talking about traps, puzzles, being the master of the tomb, and then later on we're going to talk about bringing our story to a conclusion. Our penultimate session. It's sad, and at the same time it's exciting because we get to wrap up some of the big story arcs that we've been planning for weeks and that we started at the beginning of the show, and we're going to bring this thing to a head. But let's talk about traps, puzzles, being the master of the tomb. We talked last week, it may even been a week before that, about changing around some encounters, so they're not all just, it was last week in fact, I remember now, not all just combat based, but also to have some diplomacy, some social interactions in your campaign to make sure that there's a little bit of variation going on within them. And traps and puzzles, whilst last week I was saying we overlook the diplomacy and stuff like that because there are so many traps and puzzles within this book here, at the same time traps and puzzles are pretty damn cool, and they're one of the most exciting bits about this adventure, so we want to make sure to do them right. Now my first note on doing traps and puzzles would be to read the trap and or the puzzle. Now that might seem like a really obvious thing to say, well, yeah, of course I'm going to read the thing, but you know what? Half the time, when I do traps, when I do puzzles, I forget to read every single thing about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like, there's a pit, and if they walk in it, like, they die, or something like that. And when I come to the session, I've kind of forgotten the exacts about it. You can see me looking up in the book, and I'm like, it's, if you roll me a DC 5... you want to be rereading before the session. I mean, that's something that can be said for a lot of encounters as well. particularly boss fights, when there are things like lair actions going on, when there are things like legendary resistances that you want to be tracking. But in particular, traps and puzzles require a fair amount of preparation on your side as a dungeon master as well. A lot of the time with combats, if you become familiar with how combat works, you don't necessarily need to be looking up every 2 seconds to figure out how initiative works, or, if they're just fighting goblins, you can even, you just find a stat block and then you're done, right? With traps, there may be several triggers, so there may be several different things that might set a trap off, and several different elements, particularly in this book, of how traps work. One thing about this game that I have found, just out of personal experience of doing Learn by Play and playing other sessions, both on the podcast of Annihilation and my home games as well, is that players will often really overthink things, particularly in this campaign, because it has such a reputation, right? If you're playing Tomb of Annihilation, it's like, oh, damn, like, we got to be on our lookout for traps, puzzles, and, everything else. However, a lot of the time there are some quite simple answers to these traps. Last week, they were really worried once they grabbed the puzzle cube off the stone that, there's going to be another trap. The week before that, when we did the scene with Desira jumping over all of those different wooden beams, they got really fixated on what they needed to do, because there are these cryptic bits when you go into any of the tombs. These one lines that give you a bit of a hint as to what's going on. And the players can sometimes get really, really fixated on those and overthink them. They got really fixated on this like leapfrog idea, and I'm thinking like, no, that's not it at all. But at the same time, that falls into my next point, which is sometimes they come up with solutions that aren't actually the solution. And to progress the story and to keep things pacey, as we talked about before, and keep things dynamic, you want to say yes to their answer, especially if it involves a element of danger and risk that they've thought up themselves, or they've kind of suggested might be the scenario. And even if it's not necessarily written in this book here, as marvelous as it is, and some of the traps and encounters are fantastic, still, I will say yes to a few ideas that they come up with and change those around. But yeah, read through them first. There is a whole lot that goes on within some of these, and some of them are pretty simple, like I say, but some of them will require a fair amount of rereading before I go into it to make sure that I have every element down. Just little bits of note-taking as well, super useful, sticky notes and the like, can be really helpful for that. And that's a note-taking tip in general. I find sticky notes to be really useful. Because I'm an idiot. And then secondly, to roll with it, and to be aware that they might overthink things, they might change things, but at the end of the day, you want to keep the story moving forwards and progressing. All right, that's a little bit of Tomb inside. It sure is, Grant. All right, we're going to go over to here. And if you guys have any questions, I will try and take them down into a document for the next Tomb Insight later on in the night. So if you have any questions throughout the show tonight, at Encounter Roleplay in chat, I'll say hey here in case you want me, and I'll try and answer your question. All right, and let's go back to our players with a whole group of us here, and let's pick up our adventure for today. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's have a real quick recap, because Jim might not know so well, and also there are new people, of what you guys look like with words. So, Tall Squall, paint me a beautiful picture with your word mouths.
Fulton is almost 8 feet tall. He is fairly largely muscled, not necessarily like bodybuilder muscle, bulging muscles, just heavily built, very sort of tree-like in his structure. As I said before, he does have big antlers. He's almost 8 feet tall, sort of feral features somewhat, with this light green skin when he's in full daylight. However, when he's in shadow, it darkens to almost like a coffee brown or whatever. And so that is sort of how he's able to sometimes blend in with his surrounding as a Furlbog racial ability. He, like I said, has fire hardened armor on himself from different stumps and wood that he's taken from around to make this very dense armor that he uses, both a shield and a breastplate, and then these large spears that he has as well. And then his holy symbols are sort of adorned all over him in his longish hair. on his forehead, on his neck, also sort of around his waist. Very shamanistic looking with all of his beads and trinkets, etc.
Excellent, excellent. Louise, what does Desira look like?
Desira is quite tall. She is a high elf and she's very kind of slender and toned. She has long, kind of silvery white hair that stretches down to about her waist, and her ears are pierced. Her general kind of clothing isn't traditional armor in the sense of kind of, like, you know what I mean, like traditional armor. It's mainly for Chult, because which is where she's born, where she lived most of her life. It's very kind of susceptible to the weather there because it's very, very hot. So it's kind of lightweight and able for her to move around in. And she carries a sword around, a swanky little sword. She has a good time. But I mean, what does it matter? Because she's going to die. So yeah, that's what she looked like before death.
What does
After
any of
death.
it matter?
Why am I here, Will?
Yes, describe to me your tombstone, if you would. Excellent. Greg, what does Ubo look like?
Ubo is 5 feet tall. He is a turtle, so he looks like a bipedal turtle, except he is, as I mentioned before, ancient. Normally they are a vibrant green. He is spotted with brown. His shell has probably taken on the biggest transformation in his age, where it's normally kind of plated and flush and very oval. His has become rigid and craggy with spikes and kind of growths coming off of it. And his head is so wrinkly that you cannot see which fold contains his eyes. But as I mentioned before, you can now because they are wide with the absence of Desira. And he is a ranger, and he has a bow strapped on his back that kind of clips into the weird shell. But like I said, he's concerned for his friend. We'll see where that gets him.
Awesome, awesome. And Jim, what does Orvex look like?
So, as a former ally of the Red Wizards, he's probably got a red robe or something. Orbex is an older guy, not used to all this outdoor living, camping rough in the jungle, that kind of thing. So his shoes are probably ruined from all the trudging around. Maybe he's carting around like one of those portable writing desks or research sort of things with a strap comes over that's totally inconvenient for the jungle and rooting around old tombs and temples and things. Stains everywhere. This isn't his environment, but he's got a curiosity, I guess, that keeps him going, and just sort of that puttering old man stubbornness. That sometimes you see.
Awesome. Well, let's move away from the group who are, of course, worried around the teleportation circle somewhere in the city of Omu, and let's go back to Desira. Oh, Desira. How are you feeling, Desira?
Really good, actually. This is a good day. There's nothing wrong.
All right, and that was before. So, Desira, behind you, there is Miles, the young boy, no more than a teenager really, who's been turned into a lich. One of his eyes has been placed in there by his master. He has just launched chain lightning towards you. Well, through you is the idea, really, towards Rasni, this huge, desiccated, old, and flesh just sloughing off every orifice and corner of his face and flesh that he has. Rasni, who has walked in, or slivered in really, to this tomb. 5 feet to one side and below you there is a teleportation circle which is still lit. It's still active, and the bars are thick enough to head through them. Let's have a how much HP are you on, by the way, Desira? Because we had a bit of a fight.
We did. Mine's coming up as full, actually. I don't think I got
maybe you
hit
didn't take
anything
anything. Okay, well that is good news for you, isn't it? That is good news for you.
Yeah. Still don't think it'll be enough, but yeah.
So, to avoid this chain lightning, and seeing as these are being cast at ridiculously high levels, both of them kind of coming in towards each other, and you're kind of caught in the middle, I will be asking you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
No.
And
I'm so bad.
even though I know that the spell reads if you were to succeed, you will still be hit and you take half damage. In this case, I will be so kind as to say that you will not take the damage because there is a lot of dice. They are
half damage would probably.
They are
still
double
kill me.
digits dice that I will be rolling, and they are not the small kind of dice either. So, Tazira, you have been rolling dexterity saving throws and acrobatics checks. All of them have been below 6 throughout this entire campaign, and you have made about 30 of them. Historically, this is not going to go well for Tazira, but possibly in this moment, could Tazira possibly make it out?
Okay, I'm not gonna look as I click it. I don't want to know. I just don't want to know.
I was hoping it would be this way.
Were you? Were you really?
All right then. So, I'm going to roll some dice now, Louise.
No, I'm gonna look over here.
Going to roll some dice now.
Just look away. Just cover your
It's
eyes.
not going to be pretty.
I just had art made. Why? Why now?
It's not going to be pretty. So, you will be taking
Oh my god.
92 points of damage.
I'm down.
As Miles and Rasty just cast these bolts of electricity towards you, as both of them, they strike one another, and you are caught in the middle of this, and immediately you just are knocked unconscious by this. Now, cutting back to our party, Ubo, Orvex, and Fulton are standing in the teleportation circle. Dagmira and her mages are keeping it active, and she's concentrating on it. She kind of looks up in a sweat to you and says, "It's been too long. It's been too long."
She's not coming through.
As a grave domain cleric.
I like all
Do I get-
sentences that start that way.
Yes. And let the negotiations begin.
Yes.
As a grave domain cleric, I sit down and pour 2 glasses of wine. Thank you for all the old guys who got the Princess Bride reference. Thank you. Do I feel some disturbance to being close to Tazira? Do I feel that she might be in need? That she is, possibly passing across that boundary that I so dutifully protect.
You can roll me a religion check to sense an imbalance in the force, seeing as I have gone full Palpatine in this moment.
Okay. Yes, with the lightning bolts, pretty much.
Yeah, I am Palpatining as hard as I
Oh,
can.
that's 2 8s. Infinities on the side, though.
You're like, you're not getting anything. You're not getting anything.
Where is she? Where could she be?
Orvex, you could roll me an Arcana check here, because you may sense this huge outburst of magic.
All right, let's see. Let's see how it goes.
First roll for Jim Davis. Oh, that's pretty good.
That's not too
Nice.
bad.
That's pretty good. So Orvex can sense, as he is a divination. You can sense that a huge outburst of magical energy has just happened somewhere within the city.
I'm afraid it doesn't look good for Tazira on the other side. How long can you keep this portal open, Zagmira?
A little while longer, a few minutes maybe.
Perhaps we can be of assistance and rescue her?
Grab and go.
Ubo turns back to Zagmira, and one of his arms retracts into his shell, and his other arm, when it comes back out, it's holding one of the puzzle cubes, and he says, hold it until we're back through. And he backs through the portal.
All right.
Oh, so she sees that you have it? Nice.
Okay, so the three of you jump through the portal, and it's at this point I'd like everybody, including Zero, to roll initiative. Because we are entering back into a combat scenario.
Look at that.
I got a nat 20 on initiative. Where was that? Where was that for the test?
Where were you? Alright, this might not even be good for you going first here, Zero.
I got a 21 because I have advantage, Will.
21. Orvex.
21.
13 for Orvex.
13. And Fulton.
Fulton got a 12.
Alright, so it's looking like the Zero, Ubo, Orvex, and Fulton. So, I'm also going to roll for these guys real quick as well.
I see 15 rolls. Just...
Yep. Okie dokie. So these guys are going on 14. So,
Okay.
at this point, you guys will find yourselves back in the tomb. Back in the temple. So, you're in a sand pit. To your left, there is a staircase which runs up to the top of the top floor, basically. Through bars in the ceiling, 20 foot up, you can see that there is magic going on. However, you do not have line of sight to Dazira at this point. You can see that there is all sorts of magic just flying, flinging left, right, and center in that room. They are throwing bolts at one another. They're counterspelling one another's counterspells. These two ridiculously high level mages, in fact this guy's 11th level, is just throwing everything that they've got at one another. And 20 feet above is the bars, and the staircase to your left would be the way up that you would all know to get where Dazira may well be. And you have a limited number of rounds to do this, because after a certain time, Zagmira is going to lose her concentration and not be able to do the spell any longer. So, Dazira's going first. Great job on rolling that nat 20 on initiative, Zero. You get to roll me a death saving throw.
Thank
Yay.
you. Thank you.
You know what? You deserve it.
That's a 9.
Of course it is.
And no, yeah. I don't think you mentioned this time we are playing Meat Grinder.
Yeah. Yes, we are playing Meat Grinder rules. DC 15 is the number that our players are looking for here, my friends. So, that is Dazira. Ubo, it's your turn.
Okay, so we've all emerged from the portal and we're standing kind of looking up at the bars, correct? Like we're down on the floor again.
That is correct.
Okay, I refill the wine glasses that Tall Squall had earlier put out and I push them over. Here's what I would like to do, Mr. DM.
Getting very drunk here.
Excellent. I would like to jump onto Fulton, leap to the bars, and see if I can either pull myself through or just touch Dazira, who was close to the bars before she went down in a pile of electrocuted ash.
Yeah. So Fulton's what, 7 feet?
8 feet.
8 feet. That's 20 feet up, so you need to make a 12-foot jump.
Yeah, he made, from the top of me, he'd make a 12-foot jump. Yeah, that's the math.
Ugo, you'd have to make a 12-foot jump. Does he have anything that helps him with jumping?
Can I assist him? Can I throw him? I've got
could throw
pretty
him.
good strength.
You could take your action together and you could toss him up there.
That's what I was kind of hoping for, was an assist.
Were you here? Were you here when I threw Bartleby?
No, I'm assuming it ended poorly since he's dead.
It was a nat 1. It was a nat 1 the last time someone was thrown. Okay, then Ubo, you can roll me acrobatics, and Fulton, you can roll me athletics.
An 8.
All right.
It'd be a nat 2 that I rolled with my plus 6.
Oh, really? You rolled an 8 and Ubo rolled a 12. Yep. No cigar. He gets up there, he's like, ah, and then comes back down again, and Fulton catches him. You don't throw him far enough, basically. All right. That is both of your turns. You kind of took them together. So Orvex, as these guys are flinging magic, basically.
Right, so there's a bunch of magic going around.
Yeah.
Can we see Dazira from
You don't have a line of sight on her, no.
Man. All right, let me see. I think I might have something, but I don't know that I can take anyone with me. I can't take anyone with me with a Misty Step. And what I'd like to do is I want to provide some kind of cover for them. So I think I'm going to cast Fog Cloud up top.
Ooh, good.
And see if that blocks line of sight. And I know it'll hurt us, but maybe it'll prevent some errant spells from coming at us.
Nice.
So I'd like to cast it up near where we think she is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Up above the kind of grates where they're fighting up there. Absolutely. This big bank of fog just kind of rolls in out of nowhere, materializing, and you hear up above the sound of Rasni. Ah, you coward! So that is your turn. Orvex, do you want to move at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the base of the wall. So I guess that I'm out of line of sight in case one of them peeks their head out of the fog cloud.
Nice. All right. So they are flinging spell each other on their turn. So round 2. Guess whose turn it is? Dazira, here's a bit of advice for you. On your death saving throw, don't roll a natural 1.
Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. It comes free.
I'll take it aboard.
This is learn by play for a reason. This is pro tip right now.
Pro tip right there.
Don't roll that ones with death saving throw.
Pro D&D tips, don't roll in that one.
Yep.
Take all of that in mind.
Yeah.
Let's roll. A 17.
Okay, even
Nice.
Yep.
Do it work? Do your advice work?
What can I say? I mean, I'm a professional. All right, so 1's fail, 1 success.
Ooh.
All right, Ubo.
Okay, that's not going to work. So what I would like to do is I am going to, with my bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step up into the fray.
Yep.
And with my action, I am going to get down and grab Dazira and hit her with a Cure Light Wounds. Or Cure Wounds.
Okay, sorry. Say that one more time. You're gonna run up the staircase?
No, I'm going to Misty Step.
Oh, Misty Step up there.
Up there.
Yep.
And as soon as I land, I'm going to hit her with Cure Wounds.
Nice. In fact, before you do that, roll me a quick perception check. There's a bank of fog up
cloud.
there, and you don't know where she is.
Okay.
Just because, I'm nice like that. Yeah, she's somewhere.
That's it.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
you can sense that there are things going on.
I think this might be where Orvo or Orvex is like, I recall earlier that piece of advice I gave to you, and replace that 10 with a 17.
Nice.
Nice divination magic.
Woo-hoo. So Ubo,
So
you
it's-
spot her and you can do your cure wounds. Nice.
Nice.
Dazira, you live again. You're awake.
Get up.
Your fog is all around you, and there's a wrinkly turtle in your face.
This is not a good thing.
What?
All right, so that's Ubo's turn.
Just like that dream that I had when I woke up, there was fog and a frog.
Turtle.
Frog, how dare you?
One of those dreams we never talk about. Oh god. So what I would like for you to do, as it becomes Rasni and Miles' turn, and they're still in the fog, so I don't know who's really there. Yeah, okay. Ubo and Tazira, roll me a dexterity save.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go straight back down. No, I don't want to roll it. I don't want to roll it.
I don't want to do it.
It's a 5. It's a 5. It's an 11.
All right. All right. All right. All right. 23. 23 fire. As a fireball
My god.
just lands right near you guys. Blasting Ubo for 23. Dazira, back down.
Yeah, back down. Surprising to everyone.
All right. Orvex.
All right, so we can't really see any of this. We probably see like a flash of fire, yeah?
Yeah, you see a flash of fire. You probably hear a shout from Ubo and Zira.
Oh man. Well, there's not much that I could do right now. I think I'm going to. Can we see either of the two enemy, like hostile spellcasters at all?
Your fog is probably stopping that as well. Yeah.
Probably keeping those out of the way. And I think I'm just gonna like have a readied action to fire off like a firebolt or something if one of them pops their head over.
Okay.
'Cause otherwise, I'm not sure I can see much up there.
All right. There is a staircase as well if you did want to run, but then you'd be running all the way up, and then you'd be in there. So yeah. Okay. All right. So that's Orvex, Fulton.
So, bring out the glasses again. What I want to do, Fulton basically wants to do a pull-up to just pull up through the bars so he can see, or try to see, do a perception check to try and see Desira and Ubo.
So you want to jump 12 feet up?
Well, I figure I've got my arms, which if
right,
I,
so you want to,
ergonomics, I just want to be able to,
feet.
I want to jump to be able to grab the bars and then muscle myself up. So
All
it's,
right, roll me,
I think it's a pretty small jump. I mean, probably a 10-foot, a 5-foot jump even would probably get me so I could grab the bars, and then the athletics part would be the pull up.
Roll me an athletics check.
Okay, come on. I do these at the gym every day.
Did I mention I have
12.
20-foot arms? On a 12, I'll allow it for Fulton, yeah.
Okay,
You can pull yourself up.
then I need to see if I can see them, because the spell says I have to see them.
Yep. Yeah, roll me a perception check. It is a little bit easier. The fireball has dissipated some of the fog.
Oh, yeah. Fire just gets rid of fog.
That's science.
With a 21.
21. You see him.
Notice both my other rolls were nat ones. And I'm going to cast Mass Healing Word. So at
That's
level
a
3,
spell.
and because I am a Cleric of the Grave, it always hits for maximum, so they both get healed for 8. She's up again.
Well, hey!
If I bring anyone back from 0, it's maximum dice on a
I
heal.
get knocked down. Excellent. Desira is back.
Get over here.
Up again on Fulton's turn. Top round 3, Desira, it's actually your turn and you're alive.
Run to the antlers, man.
Incredible.
Run for the antlers.
I'm just gonna run. I don't know where to. I'm gonna run
To
screaming
the antlers.
to the antlers,
Run
which
to
are
the
at
antlers.
a location.
The antlers will save you, Desira.
I just imagine Fulton just running. Run to the antlers. I will do so. I will.
He put
run
Christmas
to the-
lights on them so you would see them. It's 'tis the season. He has a little red nose.
Do it. All right. So, Desira, you can run to the antlers, at which point you'll fall through the bars. I'm just imagining her like, the antlers, and her feet just come out from under.
The antlers, yes. Whoa, down she goes.
Excellent. Luckily for you, you land on a teleportation circle, and you're out of there. So, Ubo.
Will, did I know where the fireball came from?
I love that.
Which side?
She falls and takes 8 damage. No. You saw the fireball. Yes, that came from the left-hand side. So the southern
Miles,
side.
then?
You think it's Miles, yeah.
Okay. Ubo's going to stand up, and with his action, he is going to turn towards Miles, and if he's still relatively concealed, he's going to cast Silence over Miles. And then he is going to run through the bars, and as he's jumping through, he says, "I hate liches."
All right. So you're jumping down to the teleportation circle. Excellent. So you can get down there. You can jump right through. Okay. That will take it to Rasny and Miles. Okay. You hear, Fulton, basically they've ran into each other, and you hear kind of, and it seems like they are going hand to hand fighting at the moment.
Does he hear anything?
Oh, you cast Silence, you're right. You don't hear anything. You're lost in the void. You're like, what happened to me?
Let him get in a slap fight.
Yeah, you're watching this silent comedy go on. The two of them are just so Fulton, it's your turn. No, sorry, Orvix, it's
Yeah,
your
I think
turn.
it's Orvix. Yeah.
Orvex's turn. So we've got Desira down in the sand. And
She's out.
Ubo
Yeah.
is down.
Yeah.
And
Both of them
Fulton
through the
is sort of
circle.
like grabbing on the bars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I in the
Alright.
sand or did I conveniently fall into the portal?
Yeah, no, Ubo and Zira can be out of the portal at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Discretion's the better part of valor, and he's Orvex is going to make his way towards the teleportation circle, assuming Fulton can drop down. And
Drop,
make it out there
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's get out of here.
All right, so Orvix goes through the portal as well, leaving just Fulton.
Fulton basically, let's go to the bars. Cannonball!
Awesome.
It
So
hits the sand, right?
yeah, and doof, yeah. So the group of you all jump through one after another, and are through the teleportation portal and away. Almost as soon as Fulton comes through, Zagmira stops concentrating on the spell. She's like sweating loads, and as are all of her mages. A couple of them are injured, and she just almost falls over from the exhaustion. She's just breathing heavily. You guys are outside in the city of Omu. You're in a kind of courtyard area, and it's just a group of you. And you're alive.
I assume she's still looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think Desira
So I'm
has
gonna-
seen better days. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I'll do a
She's like half passing out on the ground. She's
Yeah, I'll do a cure
"Yes."
wounds on her just because we're an Omu and we do those things. I've only got a level 2 that I can do it at, but that
I'll
is
take it. I will take it.
Yeah.
Thank
So that's
you.
for 13 healing.
Oh. Yes. Yes. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. That sucked.
Zagmira is breathing heavily. She's like, I can't believe all of you. You're the worst.
Yes, we are. I have nothing to say to that. You're right. It's true.
You almost got all of us killed.
Day's
Will,
not
how bad
over
are they
yet.
looking?
Zagmira herself hasn't taken any damage. She's just really tired. One of her mages is injured, but the other two have just fell asleep, basically. They're sweaty from all the concentration. They sit down. She has the puzzle cube still.
Well, hopefully Miles will get those from the Yonti, and then we'll be off.
She said, what? She says, what was that thing in there? What were those things in there, and why did you know them?
Which things? There were many things in
You
there.
said Miles as though he's a friend of yours.
Oh, well, it's...
He was. He was taken by our master and turned.
Right.
Tolgsa.
Her eyes are kind of cast down. Ah, yes, well, my master can be difficult, I suppose. But he is still all-powerful. She kind of gives you a bit of a secretive look as you have previously had a conversation in which she plans to betray him.
Yes, but right now, Miles is our best bet at getting the rest of the cubes from Rasni. I don't think we can, after seeing that power, I don't think we have a chance.
No. Not of the full forces of the men you have left and what we have, we could not take Rasni there. Miles is our chance at getting the cubes they have.
Well, let's hope he comes back at some point then. In the meantime, well, In the meantime, we should get to the Tomb of the Nine Gods. I know where the secret entrance is.
We'll follow your lead.
You say this Miles, he follows you, wherever you go.
Eventually, I believe you mentioned you have a similar arrangement.
She nods and says, well, he either died back there or was defeated and sent away, or he'll find us when we need him and have the puzzle cubes. If we were to go to back there to fight Rasni ourselves, you're right, we would be slaughtered. So we'll just have to trust that your friend is as powerful as you say he is. In the meantime, let's rest.
Thank God. Yes.
She and her mages kind of sit down for a rest.
Yeah, I'll take a short one.
How long are we resting for?
You can take a short or a long rest.
Yay.
Well, do we think we've got time for a long rest?
Well, we could take 4 hours, and that's long for me.
That's true.
That's very selfish.
I mean, I don't think we want to go into the Tomb of Nine Gods without all of our. I mean, I've got to take 8 to get my spells back, and we might want some healing.
You might.
What's the worst that could happen?
The clock? Are we much against the clock?
I don't know. I mean, are we feeling a sense of urgency from Zagmira?
She looks pretty spent, but
Let's
she
do a
will.
long, then.
But she will press on if you wish to.
Let's do a long then.
Let's have a kip.
Let's have a kip, shall we? Excellent idea.
Is
Will,
there someplace
during this,
safe?
This courtyard seems pretty safe. Go ahead, Uber.
During this, Will, if we're gonna do a long rest here, Ubo is gonna go around the perimeter and set alert traps.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, goes across them, it'll at least give us some type of early warning, because none of us are really in a position to be able to keep an effective watch, and Omu's not real forgiving with that anyway. But whenever Ubo is in camp, he is staying as close to the nearest body of water as possible. I know there's rivers and everything everywhere, but he's kind of like right up against one of them.
Okay.
Checking to make sure there isn't any like tentacle frogamus in there or anything. But
Who would know? That's
right.
Silly.
D&D, that's impossible.
That would never happen. That's just fantasy. So, okay, sure thing. Uber, you can run me like a perception check.
Excellent.
And let's see, 18 on the perception check. Not bad at all. Yeah. This area, this kind of courtyard area that Zagmira has found, essentially seems to be fairly well hidden off from the rest of the city. It's much like a maze a lot of the time, and it seems pretty quiet around here. You don't notice any strange things, under the in the water, or monsters under the bed or stuff like that. And whilst there's the usual inhabitants of flying creatures overhead, of dinosaurs and stranger things afoot, none of them seem particularly interested in coming into your courtyard.
Like not a lot of tracks. Like if I just searched around for any type of
It seems pretty quiet around here. There are some human tracks that you would find.
Fresh?
Tough to say.
Could I?
You can roll me a survival
roll
check
to see how?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for all that good stuff.
Yeah, tough to say.
I can't see them well.
It's dark. It's dark. I see nothing.
I'm getting so old.
Okay, so you take a long rest, and by the time that you're done, it's kind of the middle of the night. And Zagmira's up, and she says, right, well, I can take you there if you're willing to go. Or we could head back and try and find out Rasni if you want. Up to you.
I'd say the only way from here is forwards.
The reality is we can't take Rasni if the fates are not with us. with Miles to bring us the cubes. I don't think there's any chance of us taking them by force, not without more people and planning.
Well, knowing him, if he does have them, he's probably hiding somewhere with them, waiting until we're inside. It's not like he'd just hand them over to you.
I agree.
Right, so here's the thing about the Tomb of the Nine Gods that me and my mages, when we were in stronger numbers, managed to glean. The Yuan-Ti have a temple here, the Fane of the Night Serpent, where they worship this snake god of theirs. There is a secret entrance deep within Rasni's quarters, which leads to the Temple of the Nine Gods. He has been here for centuries and built this temple up around it. We're going to have to get inside. And even if Rasni is dead or no longer there, there's going to be a lot of Yuan-Ti. And I mean a lot. They have an army in there. And from out there, they send them out all across Cholt. You must have seen bands of them. Rumor has it they've reached as far as the Port Nyanzaru. So we're going to need to find a way to get inside. And
Well,
if you can
I
get me
can-
inside, then I can show you into the tomb.
I do not know how much help it would be, but I can disguise myself in some ways. I can try to put on their visage. I won't be able to speak their language, but
We know of a quiet entrance to get us in there. It's less heavily guarded, but there will be guards. Undoubtedly. Now, we could either try to sneak our way in there with disguise or stealth, or once we're inside, we just try to blast through as many snakes as possible to get to the hidden entrance.
I think we're going to need all of our power once we're in there. And I sort of look knowingly at Zagmir for what to achieve our goal.
She nods.
Therefore, I think stealth and subterfuge is our best bet.
I have a spell cast without a trace. It'll allow us to move stealthily, but you will need to cling to the shadows yourselves.
We'll do our best.
Then we best get there now. It'll take us a few hours and we'll still have the dark on our side. Although I'm not sure if those Yuan-Ti creatures see well in the dark anyway, so it might not matter. But let's head off. And she gets up. A couple of mages follow with her, and she starts leading the way. Worth mentioning that she still has your puzzle cube, Uber.
Ubo never gave her that puzzle cube. He just
Oh.
pulled it out of his arm, showed it to her, and put
Oh,
it
I
back
thought you
in.
gave it to her. Okay. Yep.
Oh, no.
Well, in that
That
case,
was to keep the door open. Right?
in that case, she doesn't have it.
Okay. That's why he was sitting close to the water, too.
Gotcha. So, as you guys follow Zagmira through the ruined city of Omu, after a few hours' travel, avoiding bands of Yuan-Ti, as she promised, you see this large... well, it's not really a cathedral, to be quite honest. You can see the top of the cathedral as coming out of the ground, as though it has been built underground. So you see the tops of spires, and there are doors which lead into the earth, which look more like tunnels than anything else. And she says, the Yuan-Ti, they burrow and tunnel like they are snakes, I suppose. They built it up from the Tomb of the Nine Gods, and the cathedral is all built underground where they feel most at home. There are some guards, and she kind of points, and you notice that there are, bands of Yuan-Ti all around this place. And she points over to one of the spires on the side and says, "There's a tunnel entrance down there. It's meant to be quieter than any of the others. Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen." And she and her mages begin to head off. And I cast Pass About Trace as they do so. Whoops.
Like, wait a minute.
Forgot that one. So, you guys pass about trace, which gives you a +10 to your stealth rolls. So, she is off.
Will, yeah, she said there are guards over by the spire that we're.
Yes, there
Looking
do
to go
appear
down?
to be snake folk by the entrance to this tunnel.
How many?
You spot 3 of them. And this is the less guarded one. On the rest, they tend to have 5 or 6. So she sneaks off in that direction. And you see her just, the shadows just melding around her as she stealths her way across the space towards the spire.
Do you think it is worth myself disguising as one of them as a plan B in case we get caught?
I don't think it can hurt.
Very well. In that case, she will cast disguise self. And I'd like to, disguise myself as a Yuan-Ti, one of the ones that I've seen before in my days.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. You look like a Yuan-Ti.
Yay! That's what I've always wanted.
Ubo will kind of saunter up and look up at Dazira and say, but don't let them get too close. They smell as often as they look.
Of course. I mean,
Don't speak either.
Yeah.
The deception.
I am a mute Yuan-Ti. That's what we're going with.
All right. So, anyone who is heading over toward that spire can roll me a stealth check. You do, of course, have a +10 to this, aside from any other bonuses that you already have.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no. +10
Can I
doesn't
get
help
an
with that.
advantage?
Come on, guys.
For being a snake person?
I make you roll like, damn it, barely ever.
Can I get snake advantage?
Snake advantage. You already have +10 to your stealth.
But snake advantage.
So even though that would be a 19, it is of course natural 1, and I play by nat 1s and nat 1s, fools.
Yep.
That is a 15 from Louise, and that's a 24 and a 29 from Fulton. However, you guys are all like stealthing your way over there. Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneak, 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 sneak. You see Zagmira and her mages just kind of put up their fingers to their lips, like shh, as you're coming over. And at this point, you're about 20 feet away from the Yuan-Ti, just kind of like clinging to the shadows that are hiding around you. And Ubo basically trips, doesn't like see a twig. And it's the classic, they all kind of like just look over in that direction. And you have gained their attention. They have not yet seen you, but they are looking over into like dark corner where they think they've heard things.
Ubo, if he can catch anybody's eye from the group, he just takes his head and waves forward. But what they didn't see was it wasn't that he tripped or he stepped on something. He felt a large pull across the front of his chest as something inside of him seized, and it took his breath for a second, and his leg kicked out and hit a rock as he fell back against one of the ruined walls and tries to kind of slink further into the shadow as he just kind of ushers them away as he's trying to quiet whatever's happening inside him.
All right. So you're all in this very awkward moment in which you're all like still. Every muscle is like completely taut. And the snakes are kind of like looking over in that direction. They look like they're probably going to come investigate that.
I don't got anything.
Ubo starts heading back the other way.
Okay.
I cast Sanctuary on him as he goes away and then follow his direction knowing that we need to make it inside.
Are we all going backwards now?
Well, that's
Go forward, yeah.
we have 3 coming towards us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me.
And it's a dark corner. Could I look to Ubo. The fighting went quiet. Can you do that again? Here in this corner, so that they don't distract them, and let's set an ambush for these Yuan-Ti, that when they come into the darkness, and then it's silent so that nothing can be heard.
I like it.
Ubo just says, go, and he starts backing away.
We're not going. We're fighting. Make it quiet.
I'll catch up.
Is there something there? In the darkness? Is there a
He strings an arrow and fires it about 30 feet in the opposite direction, so it clatters off some of the stones and then begins to continue to pull away.
All right. So I'm going to let them roll a perception check to hear, see if they hear a twanging of your bow. Let's see. We'll say
It's got a very low twang, by the way.
Is it? I hadn't know. I didn't mention
That low
before.
twang, though, you know.
You've tuned
the
it.
new in.
You've
I
tuned
got
it
it
really
tuned
low.
very low.
Yeah, you've like tuned it down. It's like a drop D of
It's like a bass note. It's great.
of your bow right now, and it's it's
I
really
sound like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, yeah.
You do, yeah. You're like Flea. Excellent. Well, luckily for you, as you you enter into RHCP mode on your bow, they hear a kind of clatter off, 30 feet behind them or so, and they begin to look in that direction.
something is playing tricks on us?
And they begin to sliver over in that direction. Zagmira gives a quick look, and anybody who wishes to make their way into the tunnel can make me one more stealth check. Anything but natural ones are a good thing to roll in this scenario. So 23, 34 from Ubo.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Snake power.
What up, it's your boy.
What up? It's your boy. Snake boy.
You got that snake juice. So, as you sneak past Agmira and him, they just kind of quickly run out. And by the time that you're down into this tunnel, the snake folk have passed. You see a wide passage which slopes down to a set of bronze doors. Coiled serpents decorate the metal with a sliding hatch at head height. 4-inch wide holes pierce the base of each door. So, Dagmira is down with you, and you feel kind of like you're far enough away as you walk down here to be able to speak that the UNT back up there wouldn't be hearing you.
So there's holes in the bottoms of the doors.
Yes.
4 of them.
4
And they about an inch long.
4-inch wide holes pierce the base of each door. It doesn't actually say how many of them there are.
Does it say how many doors there are?
There are a set of doors, but I'm talking about the
like
holes.
double doors. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
double
thought
doors,
there was like multiple doors, like maze.
No. You got your standard door array here, I would say. Your standard dungeon door.
I'm going to do my old standby. I know it takes a spell, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to cast Find Traps.
I was hoping you'd do
that. Anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable.
Okay.
Love that legalese on that spell, which was specifically intended as such by its creator.
All right. So these doors slide into niches on either side of them. Basically, so that the doors will... so there'll be no door in the open tunnel space whatsoever. So the doors will go into little niches. At that point, there would probably be something waiting for you on the other side, as these things are most likely there's no like handle on these doors, so it's most likely operated by a chain pull on the other side. So they only open it for those who are expecting. And I'll give you this as well: the holes at the bottom are because your anti can turn into snakes. so they can
Right.
go through them without running into any trap.
Are we able to see what's through there if we like peek down through those holes?
So the hole just looks down into the ground, and it's like this little tunnel of its own, really.
Oh, got you. It's an
Down
under the door. I'm sorry. I was thinking
yeah.
the hole was in the door. It's
No,
in the
sorry.
floor.
Yeah, in
you
the
go
floor.
under. Okay.
Down, through, and up the other side, you'd suspect. And there's probably guards on the other side. And Zagamira says, we could try deceiving our way in. You look like a Yuan-Ti. Maybe you've captured us?
Ooh,
That could work.
I speak Abyssal, which I believe is what Yuan-Ti do, because I was raised in a swamp.
You could translate for me.
Well, they can't see us because there's a door in the way. We just...
Yes. Just don't let them talk to me whilst we are on the other side.
Right. Oh, you know what? I can use...
Yeah, you would know these guys speak Abyssal.
Yeah. Because we heard it back in
Yes,
Port Naranzar. That's
Yes,
how
that's
we
right.
discovered it before.
That's right.
Oh God, I need a good lie. And I'm terrible at lying.
We're performers.
Yeah, no, let's not do the
This
performers
is,
lie again.
Yuan-Ti the musical.
Literally never worked.
We should say something about Razni. I go up to the door and in Abyssal say, Razni is being attacked by a lich at the shrine of Shangambi. He needs reinforcements immediately. They are injured.
You hear back,
Rasni is dead. There is no need now, fool.
That's good to know, though. Yes. The wounded still need care. We are too weak to use the tunnels.
Let them die.
Bastard.
he says,
We could open up for a price.
Ooh, what's a snake want?
What do snakes like for Christmas? Oh, God.
snake
We've
feed?
got a big hamster out here.
Chicken eggs.
Would I... This is a complete stretch,
Do you
but would
like
I know
apples?
anything about the Yuan-Ti's, the habits of liking things from living
Habits
here?
of like it. No. You have no idea what a Yuan-Ti might really want. Other than
Well, so I'll do-
power, I guess. You know.
So what are they wanting this week? What's their specialty that they're asking this time? As though there's always something different that someone wants, like it's old hat,
Right.
Whatever you brought last week wasn't good enough type idea.
Right.
Coin. Yes, coin. Nafs wants coin.
What was he saying? Nafs?
His name is Nahth.
Good Lord. N-A-H-T-H. Nafs. Okay.
Very
Got it.
extravagant way of spelling just N-A-F, essentially.
Yes, in
No,
England.
Yeah.
In England, we say naff. Something's naff. If something's naff, it's really like crappy. Naff, mate.
Just naff, mate. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's naff.
So coin it is again. What's the price this week?
You hit a little pause, at which point you reckon the snake is probably thinking what he thinks the price should be.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
50
What do you-
gold. And if you have any meat, throw it in.
Oh, we have meat, so that's good.
I bring you bacon, sir.
Yeah.
Do we have 50 gold between us?
Yeah, I think we do, because
Yeah.
remember when we bought stuff, we were going through it. I know I've got written down that I have 35.
Oh, damn.
Does someone have? I have 35, and we've got plenty of rations still.
You can definitely scrape together 50.
Yeah. So, and I'll throw in, yeah, and because we've been carrying around tons of food. So it is 50 price of life, I guess. And we do have meat fresh from outside the gates.
Excellent. Then we'll open up.
Okay, guys, I assume we're going to rush the door as soon as it opens.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say that out loud. I just give everyone a good knowing nod of, we're on.
All right. So Zagmira's like, fine. So the doors kind of, crank open. And you see that indeed these things are on, the doors are on chains, one on either side. There are these two Yuanti who are just like pulling the chains as the door opens up, and their eyes widen as they're pulling this chain, and they see the group of you. So you got these two guys. You also look into this chamber as well. You'll see that there is a tunnel running off to the left and a tunnel running straight forwards in front of you. So you've got two options there, and there's no doors on them, so you can see through them. In the one in front of you, you can see there's some kind of statue of a snake in the next room ahead. And to your left, if you were to look down there as you run through the door, you will spot that there is some kind of, you think maybe machinery, maybe some kind of font, difficult to tell. And these two Yuanti are in here. You'll also note that in the walls, there are iron grates in which snakes are. So, it's time to roll some initiative. And that's in this room, the grates with snakes.
Grates with snakes are in this room. Okay.
I'm tired of these
Snake grates.
Great snakes.
That one on initiative, but at least it was initiative.
Nat 20.
Damn. All
Cleric's last.
I'm snaking and I'm ready.
I'm snaking in it, really. Snaking in, I'm not afraid about it.
16.
16 from Ubo. Orvex?
13.
13 from you. And let's see what these guys have. You can find them, Will. Yes, he can. That was fun.
Little pantomime.
Yeah, that was tense for a moment there. All right, so these guys are going on a Fua, which is good. So Desira's going first, followed by Ubo, then Orvex, and then Yuanti, and then Fulton. For the sake of this combat, I will not be bothering to roll for Zagmira and her three mages. She wants to save herself for the Tomb of the Nine Gods. All her spell slots and the like.
That's cool.
So, Desira, you rush in. One on your right, one on your left. Snake grates that they look like they're about to open to unleash hell.
Great. Can't wait for that. Oh, man, I guess I'll just fight. I'll be a snake to the snakes, and I'll fight the snakes as a snake.
Traitor!
I probably don't even know what they said. I'm just like,
you're still putting up the disguise even while you're.
I am committed to the act.
You've like forgotten that you're actually Desira at this point.
She's a method, disguise selfer.
Method disguise selfer. I like it. Well, a 9 is not quite enough to hit this guy, unfortunately.
I'm like, it was a trick. I am not a traitor.
All right, so
I give him a wink. I give him a snake wink.
Snaky wink.
As if I missed my purpose.
All right. Okay, so that is Desira's turn. Ubo, it is yours.
Does she have another attack?
Oh yeah, you do. You have second attack.
Oh, I do. Yes. Oh, and now if I'll lose my disguise.
We need those attacks.
This I genuinely don't know what to do.
Well, if you attacked, you have to use your longsword.
You have to look use on.
Yeah, it's not another action; it's another
But
just
the
an attack.
question is, do I want to attack, or do I want to pretend that it is all just some prank, some snake prank?
I mean, you've all, I think you're well past.
You just swung a sword at it.
It's true. I'll go again for another 9.
And her indecision.
Yeah.
And look, another sneaky wink. It was also
another sneaky wink. You dodge to the left. You dodge to the right. You do the sneaky wink. You hope that this is some kind of bizarre
slither
ritual
all night.
dance. Yeah, you slither
That's
all
how we
night.
greet each other.
Oh dear. Okay, Ubo, it's your turn. You watch your friend do some kind of bizarre dance.
It's not helping. He pulls out his bow, and now these. You want to your aberrations, correct?
Let me find out for you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not.
I can't remember.
No,
Swiss
this
cheese
is
brand.
a humanoid. Yeah,
Okay.
this is a humanoid Yuan-Ti. Yeah. These guys are brood
Oh,
guards.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. He's gonna go ahead and he is going to shoot at the first one
Okay.
with his longbow, with the intent of using his force damage, my planner warrior, as soon as or if it hits.
Okay.
And since they haven't attacked yet, I get advantage on. No, wait, that's favorite enemy. Never mind. I was convincing myself of. Okay. 26 attack, 6 plus the planner warrior.
26 is a hit.
That'll be 11 total damage. It'll be force damage.
Nice.
Does that doesn't drop that guy, does
No,
it?
no. Do you wanna be fighting the one which Dazira's fighting, which we'll now call Dancer, or would you like to hit the other one that we'll now call Blitzen?
Who's the guy that I was gonna say? Take that, nah. Whatever that NAHTH guy.
You don't know which one that was. Maybe the one that Dazira was fighting.
Okay, I'll take the one that Dazira is not engaged with
Okay.
because
Blitzen.
that guy technically,
Blitzen.
Blitzen.
yeah. But I'll take Blitzen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another attack on him.
Everyone always forgets that guy
20
anyway.
23 for 12.
23 for 12. All right. Nice. He looks bloodied and in pain.
Okay.
Damn you. Orvex, it's your turn.
All right, so we were gonna get jump these guys. Orbex is just gonna focus fire with Ubo and attack with his firebolt.
Nice.
There we go.
Yes, it's a snake mating dance. It's distracting.
That's a 22 to hit.
22 is a hit.
All right, and this is gonna be. Here we go. And that's gonna be 15 fire damage.
15
to the one that Ubo had shot.
Nice. All right, so all wailing on this one guy.
Take that.
All on Blitzer. And he's not dead, but he's in a world of pain. It is their turn. So Dancer and Blitzen are going to be reckless at the start of their turn. They can gain advantage on all melee weapon attack rolls it makes during that turn, but attack rolls against it have advantage until the start of next turn. So, first of all, Dancer's going to attack you, Dazira. You've deeply offended him with your you've deeply offended him with your dance.
The snaky wink.
It really wasn't working for him.
Damn it.
So his advantage on his bite, which is then still a 6. And then he makes 2 attacks with his claws. First claws is a natural 20. No need to roll advantage on this one. And the second attack is a 13.
The nat 20 hits.
Nat 20 hits. So that's a claw attack. So you will be taking 8 points of damage.
That's right. I'll look very offended that my dance and my wink didn't do anything.
Yeah, you've been turned down.
So upsetting.
He was not a fan. The other guy, Blitzen. Wait, no. Yes. I haven't been hitting the same guy. There we go. I should undo that. The other guy who has just been firebolted by Orvex. No, you hit the same guy as the 0, right? Did we all?
I had the same one as Ubo.
Oh, the same one as Ubo. And Ubo hit the same
yeah,
one.
Blitzen's looking bad, yeah.
There, okay, yeah, good. So the other guy is going to move in and have a go. Have a good old go at Ubo. Why not? So he's going to do the same thing, being reckless. It's a reckless lad. So the bite is a natural 20. The claw is a 17. And the second
Both
claw is a 20.
Oof.
All right.
They have 3 attacks?
Yeah, 3 attacks.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, multi-attack Brugger makes 3 attacks. 1 bite, 2 of its claws. First natural 20 is 12 damage. Second claws is 3. Third claws is 4. So you take a total of 19 points of damage. Alright, that is their turn. Bolton, it's yours.
The guy who's looking the most bloodied, I think, is Blitz, and I'm going to try to just skewer him with my spear to get him down, seeing that these guys seem to be very reckless in their attacking.
Indeed.
And with a 17?
Yes.
And it will do 11 points of damage as I use both hands to shove it into him.
Ooh, and this is on Blitzen?
Blitzen.
Ooh, how do you kill him?
Literally, I stick the spear on him and basically just pick him up and throw him like over my shoulder behind us out into the hall.
Nice, nice. Ah, where's my meat? Okay, that's Full's turn. Top round 2 to 0. Still got Dancer on your sides.
Oh, so Dancer's not dancing anymore, which is upsetting.
Not so much.
So I'll
Dancing with
stab him
swords.
for an 18.
18's a hit.
Yeah. That's a... Oh, it's rolling it twice for some reason, but I think that's a 6.
Okay, nice. 6 damage. You do have
And
advantage
I'd like
against
to
them as
do
well.
it again, please.
Feel free. Help yourself.
Yay. That's a 23. I like to
Hey.
wink at him as I do it, but angrily.
It's more like a really enraged wink. Your blood vessel is going. That's a hit.
The ragiest wink
Yeah.
ever.
And that's an 8 damage.
Nice. Alrighty. Ubo.
It's a wink with the forked tongue too. Like,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Okay, over to Zira's shoulder, he's going to fire 2 shots. Plan for the planner warrior if the one of them hits.
Do it.
21 for 7.
21. That's a hit.
1 for 1.
Extra 6 for a total of 13 on that round.
Yeah.
And
13
the next one,
damage.
22 for an 8.
Alrighty, maths is most certainly happening. He's not quite dead, but he's hurting. He's hurting. Orvex, it's your turn. You reckon you could finish him off here? How about
Yeah, that's
over
what
nice
I'm
and
going to
quick?
do. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, finish him off.
Yeah.
Orvex points his wrinkly old finger at him and shoots out another firebolt at the remaining Yuan-Ti.
Nice.
16 to hit.
16 is going to be a hit.
Awesome. All right. Let's see how this goes. Come on, big money. 12 fire damage.
Owie, that is going to do it. How do you want to kill him?
I think he's gonna like waggle his finger in a spiral and burn out a spiral of his abdomen until he just collapses.
Nice. Yeah.
Snake kebabs.
Yeah. He's just going to...
In like an O?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like a zzz.
I was born to dance. And as he loses himself to dance, like Julian Casablancas, he is burnt up, and he is never gonna love again. So you guys are clear of these first 2. The portcullis does slam down behind you, as it does require like winching up again if you were to go out. However, from the chamber from ahead of you, where this stone snake statue that you can see, which is about 30-40 feet ahead of you, you see that there are the shapes and shadows of Yuan-Ti moving and sounds of them moving in towards you as well. However, the left-hand tunnel does seem a little clearer.
Run left.
Run. Mm-hmm. I will sliver left. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. All right. Who's leading the way, by the way?
Fulton can, I guess. Sure.
Do we still have Pass Without a Trace? Because she didn't do anything.
Well, yeah,
hasn't
concentration,
done
she didn't get
anything.
hit, so we
Yeah.
should have it, right?
Do you still have Pass Without a Trace?
Yeah.
Right, yes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So yes. So stealthily, we try to disappear down into the thing, and knowing that Fulton is kind of big and to hide, he tries to go. He kind of goes in the lead, not necessarily taking the lead. He just happens to be there.
All right. Cool. So let's see some stealth rolls from Yol.
13 for me.
That's an 18.
23
overall.
Nice.
Fulton.
28, 2 23s, and an 18.
It's really different. To zero, what is wrong with you? Like something. Like, are you actually a level 1 character? Like,
I think
it's just, did we have crosswires somewhere? Okay. But luckily with Pass Without a Trace is an 18, so that's a lot better. You hear your anti slithering up, and you look behind you. You can see a whole band of them there, moving in to that spot. However, luckily for you guys, you managed to sneak your way through to this next chamber. As you're sliding or slithering or creeping your way through, you'll see a door on your left, which is closed, and opening up into this chamber where Fulton at first thought he saw some kind of machinery, some kind of font. You see the following. A blood-stained altar stands in the middle of this room. It has shackles bolted to its top and niches carved into its sides. Housed in each niche is a human skull. Grooves run down the altar to gutters on the floor, allowing spilled blood to drain into the walls. Clay urns overflow with wet bones and gore. Doesn't take a genius to work out that this might be some kind of sacrificial altar, and there is blood just flowing from these urns down into the gutters, basically, which pass through a wall, presumably to somewhere else.
I mean, other than that, is it a dead end here?
There's a door to the left.
There's a door to your left, and there is a chamber leading onwards. However, there is a portcullis to that area.
So straight ahead, there's a portcullis. There's a door on the left. Blood through the walls.
Yes.
Does there seem? Can I investigate for any way to open the portcullis from this side? Or perception?
Feel free, yeah. Roll me a
whatever.
perception check, yeah.
13.
Nice. On a 13, the portcullis looks like it is operated somewhere else. It's open somewhere else.
Will is... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to ask, is there a way to close the door from the chamber where we just came from to where we are now? Like, can we close off the sacrificial chamber?
There is no door, no. It is open, hence why
Never where you want one.
Yeah, right?
Can I slither forward, and investigate the sacrificial bit and see if I can find anything else out about it? Maybe anything that says on it, or anything I can glean from it on a 15?
Yes.
Will assist to 0.
Oh, so 21.
Yes.
When you look at these skulls, there's definitely some kind of enchantment or spell placed over them. And Orvex can help with that. That's his assist, I guess. It's definitely a spell which is over this. And to Orvex, you sense a great deal of bad juju around that skull. It is bad. But Dazira, these skulls are movable. That much you can see. They move within their niches.
They move.
They can move, yeah. Like be rotated almost, you know? Currently all the skulls are facing you.
Okay, and is there anything on the walls around us?
There is
or
no
it just this?
writing on the walls, no. Whoever is here, if there is something going on, probably just knows what's going on already.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, is the altar like in the center of the room a freestanding altar, or is it like built into a wall?
It is not directly built into the wall, but the gutters are built into the wall. The gutters run through the wall.
Gotcha.
So it's feasible, it's reasonable to assume that they are connected.
Does it seem like the skulls are looking at anything? Like, are their eyes pointed in a certain direction, like towards the door or towards the portcullis or towards the opening?
They're pointed behind you towards the door at the moment, which is that way. Back that way.
So the closed door.
The closed door that you haven't looked into yet, yeah.
Does the blood that's going on down the altar and onto the walls, does that go towards the door?
No. In fact, I can draw you one of my world famous quick maps here if you like. Let's bring over here. I'll show
it's Christmas.
Yeah, it sure is.
Drawing my gut feel is you rotate the skulls towards maybe from the door to the portcullis or whatever. Or the question is what, are they looking at the trap or are they looking away from the trap, right?
Righty.
Yeah, I really want to spend some more time investigating this, but I feel like it's just a matter of time before we're found.
Yeah, these Yuan-Ti are coming behind us. We've got to get either a door or a portcullis between us and them.
My initial feeling is because there's so much blood and it's a sacrificial thing that you have to make a sacrifice for it to go through, but I have literally no idea what's happening.
Wow, you just got dark. Desira she's salty because she didn't get picked up by the Yuan-Ti.
Ubo turns to Zagmira and says, "Which one of these mages do you like the least?"
All right, this is one of my world famous Roll20 maps right here. So
is this a down view? Yes, okay.
Right, so this is overhead view. To your, and I'll ping these helpfully. So the red object is the altar. Okay. The black objects are walls. These objects here are doors. The skulls are like here. There we go. Whatever. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
How can I get bigger?
6 skulls, and they are pointed in this direction towards this door here. Here is the portcullis. Here is the entrance. It's not actually a door to the tunnel from which you just came down.
Yep.
And these are the gutters here, which are connected
so
to
the
the
blood
altar.
leaves the room completely. It doesn't go around.
It leaves the room and goes through the wall.
Okay. Oh.
So yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Bad juju on the skull. So are they looking to bad? If it's looking at the, if it's a bad juju, does that mean if it's looking at the door is bad, or does that mean
the door is bad?
I've had an idea.
Go for it.
Question mark.
Spitball. Hey, leapfrog.
I love ideas.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so we learned that the portcullis isn't operated here. There's something else that has to go to do it.
Correct.
The gutters go into another room. What if it's like a weight system where they need like a certain amount of blood to go through or something to go through, which would then in turn open the portcullis?
It could be. I'm just thinking that since it's notated, since we know the skulls rotate, that kind of, the question is it like a combination lock? Do we have to figure out? Are there any other markings on the walls that give some kind of code?
No markings. No code.
No markings.
Will, can I like get a perception check in on that left facing the top door there that they're all looking at? Can Ubo kind of check the floor and everything to see?
Yeah. Feel free.
Feel free. 14.
I actively encourage this. Yes, a 14. There is a strange blue light coming from underneath this door to the north.
There's a strange blue light coming in from underneath this door.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like either some weird lightings going on. Maybe they do have a dance hall in there. Or
it's a rave.
It's a rave. Get out of there.
Run for your lives.
You open the door, it's just like sweaty Yuan-Ti. Oh, feels the music. Yeah, feels the energy.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, or there's some kind of magic going on in there.
I think we turn the eyes away. Maybe the magic goes away, and then we can go through the door.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion.
Let's try it.
Do we need to do a further investigation for traps on turning the skulls, or do we know as much as we know on that 21?
Yeah, 21's pretty much what you're getting. And unless you wish to do any kind of detect magic upon it, I guess.
I don't have...
I only have it as a ritual.
Yeah, that takes 10 minutes. We don't have that kind of time. So
Snake Desira will step forward.
Yes, worth noting that from this...
You're going to do something you have to roll for, Desira? Sure, go for it.
We're just moving a skull, right?
So it is worth noting that creatures from this direction are beginning to move their way that way.
Go.
Okay, yep, rotate skull. There it goes.
Turn your eyes. just like earlier. Avert their eyes. Avert the eyes.
All right.
Ubo slowly pulls into his shell.
I'm glad to be a part of this plan.
I support you. Desira, which skull are you moving?
No. 1 through 6.
So yeah, let's number these real quick. This This one here is 1, and this one here is 6. That's how you do 6.
Okay, I don't want this decision. Which one shall I do?
Just roll a die and pick that one.
Yeah, we can roll a d6 if you like.
Okay, let's do that.
That seems like
I
the
like that
way,
idea.
the way to do this.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'd like to roll. I'd like to move the 4th one, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you'd like to move it, 180 degrees, so it's looking away from
Yes.
the door? You want to move it? Yeah, it
Yes,
looks like that's
and-
where it like fits in, if that makes sense.
And then immediately retreat backwards.
All right, you kind of feel that moving of the skull as it kind of rotates and it sits into place, and you have moved the skull to its 2nd position. Nothing immediately kills you.
Good to know that immediately I'm okay. Good.
So now you have all of the other skulls facing you except for the 4th skull,
I just don't like
which is
this
looking
at all.
away.
Oh god.
So this one here is away.
Fourth skull. What could it be? What could it be? What could it be?
I look back,
You-
panicked. Everybody else like.
You hear a
go.
sound
Okay,
from
I'll
one of you,
do
Auntie.
I'll turn all of them, everyone.
Priestess, are you there?
All right, you turn them all. As you do so, you are attacked by a choking
no.
sickness. No. So you turn all of them to the 2nd position, and you all sense a rumble.
Oh.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a rumble in the jungle.
No.
And you sense... Now, I'm going to have to make an Indiana Jones reference here, and I hope that all of you will appreciate it.
Oh no.
No.
You know Indiana Jones 3? You know
3. Okay.
that?
Very specific.
That one.
Oh no.
That's the reference I'm making. No. You know that
That's the
scene
entire
with...
film.
This is how they say goodbye in Austria?
Yeah,
That one?
this is how we say goodbye in Austria, Dr.
In
Jones.
Austria. That's what's about to happen here.
Yeah, and the skull reaches out and kisses you. No. The skull is a Nazi. Oh, they attack you and they're all evil. And no. In fact, what actually happens is that scene in Indy where there's the fire and him and his dad, Sean Connery, are trapped to the chair. And of course, there's that hilarious moment where the whole room begins to rotate round. So, yeah, The Last Crusade. So, this whole room, and at about... I'm going to draw it here. This semicircle here rotates around 180 degrees. And you find yourselves now on the opposite of this, on this side. And at this point now, as I do another one of my Genius maps, you will find my patented Genius maps. The altar is now here. The gutters are still running in. However, you're in a much larger room. And...
Filled with
snakes! No.
Nazis on typewriters and talking on phones.
Oh my god. I'm just imagining it. If anyone's seen the number wang sketch when the thing just rotates around.
Number wang.
We're just
Yeah,
there.
That's number wang. Time for our spin the board. That's number wang. So you now find yourself in a room about this large. Altar is here, and the gutters looks like it runs up to... I didn't plan on doing maps for this, but now I'm having fun. And now you've got this deep pit of blood, about yay big, just brimming with blood. And off to the side here, you have an entrance. Off to the side here, you have a door. And off to the side here, you have a raised entrance, so it's like a balcony, which is 30 feet up.
So there's a door, that's a closed door across from us. Is the thing to the east
Is
just an opening?
Is an opening. It's a tunnel entrance. And this balcony here is, 30 feet up or so.
The balcony should double back to the snake statue room. It's in the same
In theory, that's
pattern
in
as
that way.
In
Isn't
theory,
that,
yeah.
area,
In theory.
Yeah.
Due to this highly detailed surveyed map that we have.
Yes.
I'm going off the geological
Highly
and
detailed. I'm putting up this up for cartography awards. Yeah, this is
Zagmia, do you
yeah, thank you.
know how to get us to Rasni's quarters where the secret entrance is from here?
She looks left, she looks forward, she looks to the pile of the pit of blood in the floor, and also you can hear some like noises coming back from through that wall, you know, from this area here, you know, like, princess, where are you going? As they seem to be under the impression that you might be a priestess that have just, you know, for some reason gone into this room.
let's go with that.
Zagmira kind of like shrugs her shoulders and says, we're looking for a private room. So, probably not the balcony. Maybe not the tunnel. Door? She like shrugs her shoulders. I have a door to my room.
That is the one option left. Perhaps we should go there.
Should we? Well, let's like take a look at it before we just go fling it open. Oh, you look. I'm gonna take out a metal spike and spike the skulls in place so it doesn't turn back around. If for some reason, if I jam something in there so the skulls can't rotate, those people can't get through.
According to Indiana Jones 3 physics, that's exactly what you do.
All it takes.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. You place a little bit in there, and yep. There's now a fire. Did I mention? And you're all tied up together.
Yeah, good.
Door.
And Zagmira is kissing you. Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
19.
Snores in her sleep. A 19 is it's a success. Oh, this is a throwback. Yeah, there is a trap on that. There is a tripwire. If one were to pull open the door, something would happen. Definite tripwire though. And people don't tend to put tripwires underneath in front of their doors. I found.
So is
Which
Reverie
room was that?
dead, or is she here with us somewhere?
When I've been breaking into people's rooms, this is what I found. Very few put wire traps, and more should. Reverie is with you, but for the sake of this, she is not making any rolls.
Darn it! So our thief with the tools.
Yep.
She's freaking out over her hands again. She's having a
Freaking out.
moment.
She's freaking out.
Okay.
Freaking out.
Does it look as if we can disable the trapwire, or is it just like, let's just not deal with that situation and go somewhere else?
You'd be familiar with the fact that tripwires could be disarmed in some manner.
I could also set it off remotely, like with a mage hand.
Ooh, yeah. You mage hand it.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Back away from the door. They'll
Orvex.
waggle his.
Yes. Orvex, roll me an Arcana check to niftily pull this one off.
I love this idea.
Let's get this. All right, come on, big money. 9?
9? Okay.
At least it wasn't.
Can I
that
assist with a snaky wink?
Snake wink assist. So here's what happens.
Oh.
You know the mummy.
Another room here. Scarabs. Why did it have to be scarabs?
So
If it's those scarabs, I am leaving this entire campaign. This is over.
Mon steps out.
and if anyone here has played Oblivion, you may be familiar with this one as well. So you duly the tripwire. However, you like stumble on it with your mage hand, and it just kind of like you kind of knock onto it without disabling it. You feel this huge rumbling of stone which keeps going over and over, and you feel yourselves rising. Looking up, spikes descend from the ceiling. And this thing is moving pretty quickly. The door is getting out of sight.
Can we get to the balcony? Balcony's 30
Can we-
feet up.
Balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Balcony.
So there is a chance to get to the
yeah.
door. The balcony is easier to get to.
Yes.
Balcony,
go
balcony,
there.
balcony.
Go.
All right, anyone
We leave
looking
as
to
easy as it gets.
get to the balcony, roll me an athletics check to put yourselves up there.
My God. Can I
14.
get a snake advantage?
There is no such thing.
Damn it.
There is no
One
such
day it will work.
wink advantage.
Wink advantage. It's a 14.
It's not a thing, Louise. Damn it.
My rule of thumb is never roll a dime you don't have to, and Orvex is gonna misty step to the balcony.
Nice.
Swink.
Nice. There's an 8 from you, Greg?
An 8 works, right?
I wish it did. You know, I wish I could tell you.
How about a misty step, since he saw his buddy do it and he thinks that seems like the ticket. That is a great idea.
That is a better idea.
Why didn't I think of that?
So you use your spell slot, so you use that as you're like about to get crushed by the spike, which is descending. Well, you're actually ascending upwards. Your body is being pushed upwards, and the spike remains the same. And you're about to go, you blink out of existence, and the group of you are through in a tunnel. Whew. Okay, so you did that one. And Zagmira says, I think that might have been it. I mean, that looked pretty good in there. Like, that's where I would hide if I were a big scary snake person. Okay, let's see if we can find our way around. You're in a dark tunnel. You're probably you're probably up, elevated somewhere. The rumbling stops.
Is it one-way tunnel? They're basically, the trap doesn't reset behind us. It's just now a wall of stone.
Correct.
Do I see anything with dark vision? Is it? Do you know
the tunnel is generally sloping downwards.
Okay. I will start to head down. It's the only way.
Let's go.
Stage.
Alrighty. So the tunnel comes out, and why not? Let's do more maps. This is fun.
Yeah.
You're just having way too much fun with these maps today.
Having fun. Don't tell me my fun is wrong. So let's get all of this and let's move it over here. Map maker extraordinaire will be added to my resume. So you guys, let's get rid of that one. We don't need that. You guys come out of this bit here. Yes. And you find yourselves
in the rave.
Yes.
Yes. Big hallway. Back up this way to the north is your entrance. So you have basically come around. So you guys went through this tunnel here. And your route so far will be shown by this green. And you've come here. And you are now here. Right, so you've got all the way around like that. You're now in this hallway. In this hall, as I map and read, turn over. 4 pillars carved with serpent reliefs support the 20-foot-high ceiling of this large room, in the middle of which is an 18-foot-high statue of a coiled cobra, which is about here on the map. Torches with green flame, flicker on the walls, and the air reeks of dung. 2 wagons are parked in one corner, and a triceratops is confined to a metal pen in another. To the west are a pair of dark alcoves, and to the south is a wide pillared hall. You've got your alcoves here on the west, you've got your triceratops over here in that corner, and you've got your wagons in this corner here. Oh, damn it. Damn you, internet. Alright, should be back internet-wise. Internet struggling through.
Are we back?
Maybe. You guys hear me?
Yep, it's showing you. I'm seeing you.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We hit like 15 seconds of pretty bad like that. I apologize. Should be good. So you got your wagons top left, triceratops top right, alcoves to the west, big coiled serpent 18 foot high at the top. Down to the south, you got this hall, and a tunnel leads off this way. Like so.
So, gotcha. Well, but theoretically, that tunnel should lead us back towards kind of where the door was. Do we feel we've gone down far enough?
It seems that seems to be the impression that you get.
I'm thinking we don't want to play with fluffy here, pointing at the Triceratops. And I'd like to do a perception check, though, just to see if the way is clear for us to get to that hallway that might lead back to the room that Zagmira was interested in.
Please do.
Perception.
Yeah, I think all of this, the sheer internet power that my map is taking right now, drained
I'm sure that's what it is.
Drained my.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much.
Too much.
Too good.
Yep.
Yes.
10.
So you've seen snakes on a plane. So what you guys are seeing right now, Fulton, is down to the south. Around about, I'll draw these guys in green because they are snaky. Down to the south here, in this area, are mustered 5 Yuan-ti. One of them is quite fat. The other 4 of them seem to be in conversation right now. And if another band had headed up to investigate you guys to the north and east, then these guys look like they're the ones that were sent this way. So they are still on alert. Suspecting that someone has broken in to their keep. They haven't yet reset the guards haven't yet reset to, must have been nothing. They are still aware that someone might be in this area.
They still have the exclamation point above their heads, right?
That's right, yeah.
How far away are we from the big statue of the cobra?
Well, you guys have come out to, this is miraculously all to scale. No, I'm kidding. So, you guys are at this point around here as a party just coming out from that tunnel on the ground floor. So, you're like 20 feet away from this coiled serpent, 18 foot high. The ceiling is 20 feet, so it's about as high as the ceiling.
Right.
Will, while this is going on, can Ubo attempt to use primeval awareness and communicate with the Triceratops?
Yes. Remind me what primeval awareness does, Greg.
I can communicate with beasts. I can communicate simple ideas. I can learn their emotional state affected by magic, their short-term needs, and I can persuade them not to attack.
Nice. Well, you get his short-term needs, which is get me out of this cage. You also get some of his long-term needs, which is, a partner that loves him, a stable job, kids maybe. That's a Triceratops there.
I communicate to him and I say, if I let you out of this cage, how would you feel about charging north through those Yuan-ti?
You feel like
south.
Yes, south. You like anger. This thing doesn't like being looked up. It's a powerful beast.
Get pumped. I turn around. I say, we can softball.
Montage.
I turn around and we can use this creature. It harbors no love for the Yuan-ti.
I can try and go unlock the cage. I look like them. It may be less suspicious than one of you going.
Yeah, and if all else fails, I can calm them to make them possibly indifferent to our presence. But I like the idea with this Triceratops.
Right. Well then, I guess it's my turn to be the snake I was born to be. And I will slither out into that hallway and head.
Fulton just looks away. It's like if he had a shell.
Yeah. I'd like to try and head
glad to be a
towards
part of
the
this
statue
plan.
and get behind the statue before maybe they see who is clearly the priestess and not me.
I love that, Frank. So her name is Sarah. She's been trying to get to the valley for the last 15 movies. What do they call that? There's like the bad land or something like that, where all the bad dinosaurs come from. Yeah,
Go guys!
Fantastic.
I love it. Still too soon for Littlefoot's mother, though. Let's not go there. So, Dazira, you want to sneak your way over, right? Give me a sneakeroo.
Zagmira still has
Zagmira still has that Pathfinder trace up.
Yes, and I feel like this is the best time to have snake advantage.
There is no time. Let's make it right. There's never time.
There's never time.
Time as a concept would be destroyed if Snake Advantage were a thing. I do this for the sake of the cosmos, Louise.
Okay,
Not for my own enjoyment, for the sake of the cosmos.
That's a 16.
It's a great face. It's everything. Louise.
Quite frankly, is the worst character I've ever played with, ever.
She's bad.
Oh,
Your
she's bad.
stats aren't even that bad, but oh my god.
On paper, she's great, but in practice, nothing works out.
She did so well on all of her exams, but
She can't put it to good use. She hasn't got the practical.
she still
side
hasn't
down.
figured out how to use the copy machine.
Oh my god, it's so
But that's
good.
a 16.
She has knowledge, but not practical application.
So you bring up this ruse about pretending to be a Polish architect, and the guy gets really annoyed at you. Yeah. So you luckily, let me actually roll these guys. Why not? Come on.
Perception, here comes.
Because they are actively
do
looking.
You have to roll.
Usually I just use their passive, but they are actively looking for people around in the area, so they do not see you.
Good.
And at this point, you are, behind one of these statues here.
Not only is Desiree the worst, she's also one of the luckiest because things just sometimes seem to go.
She's got good friends.
Oh, okay. So now I'm a lot closer to our friend.
Yes, you see this, kind of fat Yuanti who's kind of giving them orders in Abyssal.
Okay. And I'm over by the Triceratops.
You
Yeah,
want to be
you're
behind the
unlocking the
Triceratops?
cage, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, if you want to be... Yeah, you can be all the way over there. Sorry, I thought you were behind one of the statues. There you go. You are by that. If you want to bust open a cage, you can give me a sleight of hand.
I would love to. And I'd like to give it a snaky wink before I do so. As
Use
like
your
a,
tongue to get sort of pick the lock.
as like
That
a
works
joke.
just like that. It works in all
I
the
look like
cartoons.
oh no, well, guys, I've just realised something horrendous. I look like a Yuanti. And he's,
Yeah, the chat's been telling us all about that.
Oh, how did I not?
Wow,
think, okay, you know what?
Wow, that has totally just crossed my mind.
You don't smell like one, which is good.
Yes. Maybe
good
he's
smell,
blind.
bad eyes. Good smell, bad eyes. Triceratops, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's the way that works, right?
He's
Not known for their eyesight.
It says that right here in the back of the book. That's crazy.
Okay, in that case,
Slight
I would
of-
like to sleight of hand
Uh-huh.
and also move away.
Right. That's going to be
Yes.
difficult because you'll need your hands to be there doing it.
I'd like to just around a corner.
Ubo tries to assist by saying to the Triceratops or communicating to the Triceratops that the person opening is not a Yuanti, does not smell good, not smell bad. Ignore that Yuanti. Get the ones,
Okay.
the group of them, the ones that
This,
smell like
this
Yuanti.
concept is going over so well with
Yeah.
the brain the size of a pea.
Problem is,
Yeah,
it
got
does
it.
have an intelligence of 2.
Well, I got a
Sarah, listen to me, Sarah.
So you unlock it. Now, what I would like for you to do, Louise, is to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Of course, it's a
Why?
dexterity saving
Why?
throw. Of course, it is.
Because everything Zero does revolves around jumping out of the way of things. So I'm about to kill
It's
her.
true. That's a 19.
Whoa!
How did that happen? Who are you? I don't even know you anymore.
I've become an actual snake person. I'm not Desiree anymore.